What is going on, everybody? Josh here with Washaway Window Cleaning and Power Washing, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys the absolute most basic tools you need to start a pressure washing business. Now, we do window cleaning and pressure washing, so this is going to be the pressure washing side of things, obviously. And I'm going to show you the most basic equipment you're going to need to start on driveways, sidewalks, and vinyl siding. And you can even do some commercial storefronts with this, doing the sidewalks, stuff like that, retaining walls. But for the most part, you're going to want to start with driveways and residential areas, versus in window cleaning, you're going to want to start with commercial work and then move to residential. But I think for pressure washing, starting with residential is actually a better alternative than starting with commercial work, so that you can know what you're doing. And always make sure you have insurance when you start these things, because you don't want to be screwing up people's houses. So let's get started. I'm going to take you through all the basic equipment. So this is the pressure washer we use. It is our go-to. It is the Champion Pro 4200 4-gallon per minute pressure washer. It's got all the tips at the top, has your gun, it's got a nice Honda engine on there, and a nice brass fitting. My favorite part about this is this part right here. You can twist this back and forth while cleaning, and it can dial up and down the pressure up to 4 gallons per minute and all the way down to 0. So handy for different kinds of jobs. There is a downstream injector on this thing. I never use it. I don't like putting any chemicals through my pump, so I try to do pump sprays. So what I'll do is I'll pump spray an area first, because that's the most basic way to do it, and then I'll go from there. I never ever put bleach or any kind of chemical through my pump or my pressure washer. It just doesn't make sense. So real quick, I'm going to go over to here in the other part of my garage. I'm going to show you the first two pressure washers we started with. This one is a Ryobi. I bought this from Home Depot when I first started. It's probably done about $20,000 worth of work for me. I don't recommend using it at all. It added hours and hours to every job. And then second one we bought, which we thought was going to be better. So the first Ryobi was only 2.5 gallons per minute, 2,900 psi. This Westinghouse we bought later on was 3,800 psi and 3.6 gallons per minute. Ironically enough, this thing's stronger. I don't understand what's wrong with this. It's never worked for us. It just sits in the garage. This is the one we take if we need a secondary pressure washer for any kind of job. We absolutely hate this thing. I don't know why, but for $700 it was a complete waste of money. This thing ran about $300 or $400 when we bought it, and the Champion over here is about $900 to $950. Totally worth it. Make sure you read the manual when you're building this thing, because turning it on and off can be a pain. I read that in the comments when I was buying this off Amazon. Product link in the description below, as always. But for turning this thing on and off, you really have to push the gas forward and then push the choke forward, and then you're going to pull the trigger. And to turn it off, you're not going to touch this thing. I don't know why it's even there. It just kind of tricks people. But essentially, you're going to starve the engine when you turn this off. So all you're going to do is push the gas thing. When it's in the on position to the right, you're going to turn it off to the left, and then you're just going to let the engine starve. It takes about 2 minutes. That is the way to keep this pressure washer lasting as long as possible. So let's move on to the other basic chemicals you're going to need. Chemicals too, but basic equipment. So let me actually move this back a little bit. Sorry about that. No editing here, all in one take. This surface cleaner. It is approximately 16 inches. It is Mekoh, M-E-K-O-H. Probably a Chinese brand, not gonna lie to you. It's $60 on Amazon. So for pressure washers, you want 4 inches of surface cleaning diameter to 1 gallon per minute of a pressure washer. So a 16-inch surface cleaner is gonna be perfect for a 4 gallon per minute pressure washer. We do have the Mekoh 20-inch surface cleaners that have the big handles and the fancy ones that you see big commercial people doing. We only use those if we really have to, and you really got to dial up the pressure washer to max, because it's not adequate for the size of the pressure washer, but it does get the job done if you're using your chemicals properly. Now, for the pressure washer to be useful, you need a hose. Obviously you can use any kind of standard garden hose, but for the pressure washer itself, you're going to want one of these, which is essentially a 3/8 quick connect hose. As you can see here, it's got an end like this, 3/8 quick connect hose. That's what you use for pressure washing. It usually comes with every pressure washer you buy, so you don't really have to worry about it. But a lot of the times pressure washers will come with the crappiest 3/8 quick connect hose you've ever seen in your life. So we go out and buy our own. 50 to 60 feet, sometimes 75. But yeah. So you got your pressure washer, you got your regular garden hose to hook up to the water, you've got your 3/8 quick connect hose, you've got all your tips, your gun comes with it, surface cleaner, you saw that, and then your main chemical you're going to be using is bleach. Bleach mix. So for this, we'll use Champion Pool Shock, which I'm going to see if I have any in these chemicals. So let me go over to my chemical section here real quick and try to find one for you. Well, unfortunately, this is our last bit of Pool Shock bleach that we use, but I go to a pool store, pool supply store, and buy the 12.5% Champion Pool Shock. I get a case of it for about 26 bucks. Don't go to a big box store and buy Clorox bleach. The strength ranges from 6 to 8%, so it's not as strong, so it can't be diluted and it can't get you as far, and it costs more. It's like 12 bucks a bottle sometimes. So why buy a $12 bottle of less potent bleach when you can go to a pool store and get 12.5%, which is the highest one they sell, for about 26 bucks for a case, which is 4 gallons. Anyway, next up is the degreaser for all your grease and oil stains. And I'll do a more in-depth review on which degreaser we use specifically, but do not go to a big box store and buy degreaser. I'll show you in a later video which degreaser to specifically get, but we go to a supply store down south and get it, and it's Dynamite Degreaser. Southeast Soft Wash, shout out to them. Their products are awesome, highly recommend them. I'm going to do more in-depth reviews on their products because we use a lot of them. So you've got your bleach, your degreaser for oil, grease, all those kind of stains, like doing dumpster pads. That's also a good one. So if you are going to do commercial work first, dumpster pads are a good way to start. All you really need is the degreaser and some boots, waterproof boots, and some gloves, and probably some eye gear because you're going to get some shit in your eye. Yeah. What else? We need one more item, which is, no, I think that's it. That's pretty much the basics of it. You've got your degreaser, you've got your bleach. So those are the two main chemicals. Oh, rust removal. You're going to see that on a lot of driveways. Let me go grab it. Another chemical we use from Southeast Soft Wash, Rust Remedy. So this thing, best rust remover I've found, and they also have a stronger version on their website, but that is the best rust remover we've found to date. As far as chemicals go, I never go to a big box store, so degreaser, don't go buy the Purple Zep 5 gallon for 50 bucks at Home Depot. That shit is pretty much purple water. So that's about it for this video, guys. You've got your pressure washer, you've got your bleach, you've got your degreaser, you've got your rust removal. That's going to take care of about pretty much any stain you're going to see on a driveway or a sidewalk or a dumpster pad. And then you've got your hose. I highly recommend a 150-foot hose. And then I recommend at least a 50-foot 3/8 quick connect hose for the pressure washer. And then, like I had stated before, get yourself a surface cleaner. You don't want to be that guy that shows up with a pressure washer to a job that's cleaning the driveway and you don't even have a surface cleaner. You're going to spend hours just going back and forth with the gun tip. I've seen so many people do that. You leave lines, you leave streaks. It just ends up almost looking worse because you tried to clean it than it did before when it was just dirty. So get yourself the surface cleaner and make sure it's 4 inches of diameter per gallon per minute of your pressure washer. So if you do go to the Home Depot and buy a big box store pressure washer like the Ryobi, you're really only going to be able to use a 12-inch surface cleaner, which is better than using the gun, but it's not as effective as you could be. So I recommend getting this Champion Pro pressure washer. But that's it, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all that fun YouTube stuff everyone says. I try not to get too involved with that. I just try to make good videos that are informative and do my best and try to hopefully up the production quality as time goes on. But yeah, Thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you in the next video.